Salazzo trying to bring out the choo-choo, as he said right there. That's the big home run power that John Salazzo possesses. This guy has some power on the mound as well. It comes in the form of a hard fastball and a really nasty slider slash slurve. Wilhennis Alvarado, he was great in his first start against the Welland Jackfish. The Maple Leafs are going with their ace here in an elimination game.
Well, he was the league leader in ERA in the regular season, so with your back against the wall, why not go with him? Like you said, Wilhennis Alvarado, last time out, 7 1/3, no runs allowed. That was back in game number 1 that the Leafs actually did take. So let's see if he can bring it again. We know how good that off-speed pitch is, and we know how pivotal it is when he mixes it with that good fastball. So we'll see how he is today.
Yeah, a young lefty pitcher on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2000-born pitcher, standing at 6'2" on the mound for Toronto. Led the Intercounty Baseball League in the regular season in earned run average at 2.36. Wilhennis Alvarado has countered that with an ERA of 3.11 in the playoffs so far. In the 3 games that he's pitched, none bigger than this one in his IBL career.
For sure, and it's crazy to kind of think of where we are right now with Alvarado, considering how the season started. You know, it was a lot of struggling with command, trying to figure out, you know, where he would be in this Maple Leafs pitching staff. Started out in the bullpen, now their top starter, and a guy, you know, you want to look for.
Hogan Brown is going to lead things off for the Welland Jackfish. Their offense has exploded over the last couple of games, scoring 15 against the Toronto Maple Leafs in Welland. A much-needed off day for this Maple Leaf pitching staff. First pitch from Alvarado is pounded right down the middle for strike 1. And there's one that just went over the head of Hogan Brown. That was the slider that Wilhennis Alvarado didn't have a great grip on there. For a lot of these Maple Leafs players, they're kind of calling this the last dance this season in the Intercounty Baseball League. The Maple Leafs have had one of the most potent lineups in the IBL over the last couple of years. Jordan Castaldo, remember, he is retiring after this season. Not just a legend with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He started and will end his career here, but a legend with the Barrie Baycats as well. As here's the 2-1. That one's low. Wilhennis Alvarado has just missed with 3 sliders here against Hogan Brown.
And you said it, Jordan Castaldo, that is, you know, inducted as one of the top 100 players in the IBL. He is a very, very good player, and he's been very good for the Leafs over his entire tenure.
3-1, fouled off. That one got a piece of Justin Mara, so the count runs full.
And really the early indication that we know when Wilhennis Alvarado is feeling comfortable on the mound is how that slider is coming out of his hand. Obviously, so far in this at-bat, you've seen him kind of just slip it or over-grip it where it's going into the other batter's box.
Does he go back to it here after missing with 3? Here's the 3-2, slider fouled off. He went right back to the well, and that one he got on top of well.
That's what you want to see out of him. You want him to have that confidence in that pitch, because when he has it, he's a very, very good pitcher.
Another 3-2, high chopper to Jordan Castaldo. Out number 1. Boy, Hogan Brown has been a tough bat to get out. Wilhennis Alvarado gets a big out number 1. Hogan Brown hitting .310 in the playoffs. Brings up Ethan Hunt hitting .392 and 24 ABs.
Yeah, and this top 3 really for the Welland Jackfish have just kind of propelled this offense. You look at them, Hogan Brown, Ethan Hunt, and Carlos Martinez on deck. These 3 guys have been very, very good.
The first pitch to Ethan Hunt, in there for a strike. It's 0-1. It was a blistering hot sunny afternoon here at Dominico Field. Then we had some rain, and it cooled things down. Now it's a nice temperature here for this evening affair. Benicio fields one on the ground to first, 2 away. A tidy first 2 outs for Wilhennis Alvarado. While we have a minute, let's take a look at the lineup for the Welland Jackfish here this evening. Hogan Brown leading off, and then Ethan Hunt, who we just saw. Carlos Martinez is at the plate right now. Steven Moretto at first base. Mateo Porcelato, Caleb Fiersteak, James Smybert at shortstop. Tyler Dupuis is at second base. And Gio Morello is in the 9 spot playing center field. Tyler Dupuis in the lineup playing second base. We didn't see him last time in game 1. Mateo Porcelato was in that spot at second base. Last game at Dominico Field, I should say.
And you look at that lineup up and down, only 2 guys batting under 300.
A liner, and it skips off the glove of Jose Vinicio. He was going to have to make a heck of a play to pick that one out of the dirt. And there's a base runner with 2 outs here for the Jackfish.
As I was saying that, he might have raised his batting average over 300 now, as it was Carlos Martinez. He was batting 280.
Talk about what Tyler Dupuis has done in this series so far, heading 400 right now in the playoffs through 20 at-bats. I think he's cemented his position there at second base. Pitches in the dirt to Steven Moretto, who in game 2 found the short porch out there in left. Hammered a ball that had plenty of distance over the wall. It was just a matter of whether it was going to stay fair or not. Blew the game open for the Welland Jackfish back in game 2.
Yeah, and we all know Welland's offense, how good it is and how deep they are, really 1 through 9, and even some of the bench. And they're showing it so far in this round here against the Maple Leafs.
Counts 2-0. And Moretto hits one hard on the ground, but foul past John Salazzo at third base. Jose Vinicio at shortstop, Dan Mara at second base, and Jordan Castaldo at first. The same infield that the Maple Leafs have seen almost day in and day out for the last maybe 3 years now. Guess Jose Vinicio wouldn't have been a Maple Leaf in 2021, but he's been the shortstop just about every single inning of every single game out there for Toronto.
And it's well-deserved, too. We know how good Jose Vinicio is at defense, but also his bat in the lineup in that leadoff spot is pivotal.
The 3-1. Fouled off. Jesse Hodges is playing left field for the Maple Leafs. Connor Lewis out in center. Ryan Dos Santos, who has been moving around between center and right field, is in right for the Maple Leafs. Here's a big 3-2 pitch here to Steven Moretto, who has some pop. And it's inside ball 4 after a tidy first 2 outs for Wilhenis Alvarado. He's now allowed 2 base runners, a single by Carlos Martinez, and now the walk.
And you were mentioning the outfield there for the Leafs, and then the infield, typically the same as we've seen basically all season long. Salazzo at third, Vinicio at short, Dan Mara at second, Jordan Castaldo at first, and then Justin Mara manning behind the plate.
Talked to Justin Mara before the game. We'll actually hear from him between innings, but he was saying that he was very happy to get a day off. You know, catching 2 days in a row is something, you know, it's hard on the knees. Here's the 1-0. And that one misses inside to Mateo Porcelato. Porcelato hit .333 in the regular season through 41 games for the Jackfish. 153 at-bats. Porcelato was 1 for 5 last game. And he fouls it off.
And it really looks like that off-speed pitch is working for Alvarado. We've seen it kind of miss just on the outside half, and that just might mean he's holding it for maybe a millisecond or a second too long, where it just cuts, just missing that outside corner.
Porcelato has managed to get a hit 1 time in each of the games in the postseason, except for 1 against Brantford And he won't reach base this time because Alvarado just painted a nasty slider over the inside corner to get himself out of a little bit of trouble in the first inning. Now we hear from Justin Mara, who I had a chance to sit down with before the game. All right, here with Justin Mara from Toronto Maple Leafs. Justin, what are your thoughts coming into this game? I mean, your backs are against the wall. How much do you guys want to keep the season going here tonight?
Yeah, we're going to leave it all on the field today, you know. I mean, we're pretty confident in the matchup we have. We know Will's going to give it everything he's got. But we can't take it for granted, right? We got to go out there, we got to play hard, we got to make good plays. But we're going to give it everything we have to make sure the season stays alive for sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about what we've seen from Welland Alvarado this season? I know your first impression of him, I talked to you earlier in the season, you said, man, that slider's really good.
Yeah.
What more have you seen from him this season?
You know what, just all around, incredible composure. Stuff doesn't go his way, he gets the ball, gets back on the mound, makes a good pitch. The slider is devastating for sure, but it plays off his fastball. He's got some incredible movement on his fastball. So going from the fastball to the slider, just keeping hitters off balance, it's just incredible what he's been able to do. And it was a pleasure catching him all season, and hopefully we can keep it going.
You got a home run last game. I know you guys got the loss, but I know you were also trying to get the bat going in this series as well. How good did it feel to hit the homer?
Yeah, for sure. It's an ongoing joke, and there's been a bit of a drought for me for the home runs. I don't know if I've ever gotten that long without one, so it was definitely good to get that off the back. And then in my last at bat, nice little single the other way. So starting to see the ball a little bit better, getting some confidence, and hopefully I can just help the team.
In your opinion, what's the biggest thing for the team tonight to get the win?
It's going to be to keep it within ourselves. Don't try and do too much. Not one guy can try and do too much. Everyone do their part. Play hard and hopefully no errors. Keep clean defense and make sure we put up a few runs for Will for sure.
Great, thanks, Justin.
No problem.
So it's Ben Abram who takes the hill for the Welland Jackfish, and boy, an imposing presence on the mound, standing at 6'8" out of Georgetown, Ontario. Ben Abram, also a 2000 born pitcher, a young guy, but a guy who's been real good. MLB drafted as well, 37th round in the MLB draft. This could be a tough test for the Maple Leafs tonight.
And you see his 2023 stats right there, 2-1 record, and he has that 1.58 ERA with the 1.01 WHIP. Those are pretty impressive stats, and I mean, it shows, he's a very intimidating presence on the mound, and the Maple Leafs are going to have to try to get something going against him.
But he is a right-handed pitcher to a very left-handed heavy Toronto Maple Leafs lineup, so that's one thing that will play into their favor. As here's Jose Vinicio, who takes low, ball 1. Ben Abram had a good regular season, but a very short one for the Welland Jackfish. This here's the 1-0. And Vinicio pops this one up. This might be in play at third base, and it's beyond the reach of the third baseman, Ethan Hunt. Ben Abram pitched in just 5 games for the Welland Jackfish in the regular season, but man, he had some long outings. His first one was 4 innings. Then he went all 9 against the Kitchener Panthers and a 7-inning outing against the Barrie Baycats. So this is a guy who can not just, eat innings, but in a very high-quality manner. But you look at a guy like this, even if the Welland Jackfish were to lose this game, the key would be not to blow up the bullpen.
Exactly. The bullpen, you basically hope would be well rested with him on the mound.
Vinicio gives this one a bit of pop out there to left field, but it's plenty of room for the left fielder Hogan Brown. So the lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs goes as follows. Jose Vinicio there leading things off. Justin Mara, who hit a home run last game, is looking to get things going with the bat, but says he feels much better now after getting the home run. Jordan Castaldo, the veteran, trying not to make this the last game he plays in the Intercounty Baseball League. He's at first base. Then Garrett Takamatsu at DH. John Salazzo will also hit the home run. Jesse Hodges, Connor Lewis, Dan Mara, and Ryan Dos Santos is batting ninth.
And you look at their lineup compared to the Welland, obviously the averages are a little bit different. Welland's been very hot all playoff long. And you look at some of the Maple Leafs bats, they haven't woken up yet. We know how good this offense is once they're clicking on a full scale. They're just, missing that one piece right now.
Yeah, and in fairness to the Toronto Maple Leafs, the previous series that these two teams played was a lot different.
Yeah.
The Toronto Maple Leafs had to play Claudio Custodio 3 times.
It's never an easy task.
And their series 2 out of the course of, I guess, 1 game, but that one's outside. And they played some tight games against the Guelph Royals and scored a lot of their runs via walks. There's a lot of things that aren't contributing to those averages. While the Welland Jackfish earned their first place spot in the IBL, so they got to play the last place Brantford Red Sox. Here's the 3-0. And that one's in there for a strike, just catching the outside corner.
And then one more thing to note there about Ben Abrams. You were talking about the games he pitched where he went 8 and 9 innings. Well, he did that against the Kitchener Panthers and the Barrie Bay Cats, the two teams that were fighting on the other side for that IBL final spot.
Justin Morrow's going to take the walk. Yeah, the IBL Finals has its first opponent, the Barrie Bay Cats, sweeping away the Kitchener Panthers as we take a look at the defense for the Welland Jackfish. Hogan Brown out there in left, Stephen Moretto, or Gio Morello, I should say, in center field. Caleb Fiersteak is in right. Ethan Hunt at third base, James Smybert at shortstop, Tyler Dupuis at second base, Stephen Moretto at first, and Carlos Martinez is doing the catching here tonight. Here's Jordan Castaldo. First pitch is just outside. Ben Abram has lost a little bit of control, walking Justin Mara on 5 pitches, and now a first pitch that missed the target that Carlos Martinez had set. I was in the Maple Leafs locker room before the game today, kind of expecting there to be, some tension with this being the potential last game that they end up playing here at Dominico Field. And there's a real desire to keep this group together, and there's a lot of players that have played together for a long time. Even guys that have played with Jordan Castaldo, I think they'll miss his veteran presence, even helping out on the coaching side of things with the Maple Leafs this year. But it's not tense in the locker room. It was very loose. It was really kind of like any other game.
Yeah, when you look at this team, it's a special bunch. The pitching is very good. Offense, we've seen it at times throughout the year. It's very, very good. And the big thing with the group was, can they click at the same time? Can the pitching come through when the offense is on fire, and then vice versa? We saw it click at one portion. Now we got to see it happen right here to close out this series.
Jordan Castaldo behind in the count 1-2. And that one's upstairs. Garrett Takamatsu is waiting on deck. The wind has completely died down here at Dominico Field. It's still pretty warm. With that being said, the ball will be carrying. Jordan Castaldo has excellent power to the opposite field. Here's the 2-2 from Abram. And that one's up and in. And maybe Ben Abram has that opposite field power that Jordan Castaldo possesses in the back of his mind, as he's been clearly trying to pound him in. In fact, Carlos Martinez, when he missed outside, went out to the mound and said, hey, maybe don't miss that side.
Yeah, and we saw Ben Abrams miss a bunch of pitches like that on the outer half, and then ever since, it's been all inside.
He fouls this one off, got a pitch on the outer half. And if this isn't the most Jordan Castaldo-esque thing, I don't know what is. He was down in the count 1-2. Now it's 3-2. He's fouled off a couple pitches, and Ben Abram hasn't even really missed the mark after being up 1-2. Here's the full count to Castaldo. Runner is going. Justin Mara throw down. Not in time. Jordan Castaldo was rung up on the pitch, but a stolen base for Justin Mara, his second of the playoffs, and the Maple Leafs have a runner in scoring position.
Unfortunate break right there for Castaldo, but good speed on the base paths right there by Justin Mara. And a nice slide to get under that tag.
Garrett Takamatsu, especially early in the season, did an excellent job of going the other way, trying to find that gap between second base and first, and he fouls it off. That would likely be enough to score Justin Mara, but he'd have to put it in the right spot, and he would have to make sure he doesn't hit it too sharply. An excellent playoffs for Garrett Takamatsu, hitting .310 in his 29 at-bats. Here's the 1-0. Takamatsu hits one on the ground. High hop! Throw to first in time. Oh, what a beautiful play by James Smybert, as he just got one of the most wicked hops you will ever get at Dominico Field. Jumps in the air, brings it down, keeps a scoreless inning for Ben Abram and the Welland Jackfish. 0-0 as we head to the second inning here at Dominico Field. Now. Pitch is over the outside corner. That was filthy. Strike 3 called. Really talented pitcher, and he has good stuff. Really good stuff. Over the outside corner for a strike. That's 4 consecutive strikes now from Alvarado. Breaking ball just missed inside.
That was a filthy breaking ball. That's how you know it's a good, again.
Oh
my Lord.
Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, inside corner, strike 3 called. Us here at the broadcast booth. Here's the pitch, strike 3 called. Well, Janice Alvarado strikes out the side. So just one more from you. We saw Alvarado have a tough outing this first one. That fastball's pretty fast and that slider's pretty good. Can you tell us what those pitches look like from your perspective?
Yeah, they are really good. I mean, that's a guy that we're lucky to have on the team now. His fastball is really good, and he uses it effectively, right? So when he's pounding the fastball, he's hitting the zone, he's getting ahead of guys. It just makes that slider all that more effective. So I'm glad to see he's kind of turning around. That first outing was a bit shaky, but you cut a guy some slack. He's coming off a plane. He's a long flight. He's getting used to the hitters, but it's going to be good for us for sure.
Janice Alvarado back out on the mound, facing Caleb Fiersteak, and the first pitch is swung on and missed. That's the breaking ball there from Alvarado.
And really the duel on the mound right now is between two different kind of pitchers. Alvarado really works over that slider, and there it is once again. And then you see Ben Abrams, that hard, heavy fastball. So it's the very, opposite tails.
Yeah, Fiersteak was way out in front of that slider. Twice in a row, 0-2. Fastball that time, but he missed outside. James Smybert's on deck, and then Tyler Dupuis this inning for the Welland Jackfish. Alvarado has had two good-looking sliders. Here's a third that's chopped to first and in foul territory, Jordan Castaldo. So it remains 1-2.
When you see Alvarado pitching, he has a very quiet mechanics. And what I mean by that is everything he does in his windup, it's very controlled and it's very, structured.
Ahead in the count 1-2 is Alvarado. And it's a line drive. Vinicio dives. Throws to first in time. A thing of beauty from Jose Vinicio for out number 1.
And we're so prone to seeing it there right from the shortstop, Jose Vinicio, and he just does it again. Makes it look effortless, and the great throw across the diamond.
That was really clean by Jose Vinicio. He dove, made the catch, and knew exactly how much time he had to throw that ball to first base. And he was hyped up. He got a little fist bump after that as well. Jose Vinicio's locked in here early on. Slider from Alvarado misses.
Like we keep mentioning, I'm sure all the players know, their backs are against the wall. This game means just a little bit extra.
1-0. 1-1. Well, Hennis Alvarado has a nasty breaking ball and a hard fastball, which you would associate with a lot of strikeouts normally, as there's the nasty breaking ball and a swing and a miss. Not the case, though, for Will Hennis Alvarado. He will go many starts where he goes 7 innings and doesn't even get to 5 strikeouts. Over 17 innings pitched in the playoffs, Alvarado just 9 strikeouts and 6 walks. He gets a lot of soft contact. Misses that time, and visibly frustrated with his delivery. He'll take a walk around the back of the mound and regroup. Counts 2-2 on the shortstop, James Smybert, who made a great play of his own last inning to get the Welland Jackfish out of a bit of a jam. Now he fouls one off. That's the kind of weak contact you get with Alvarado. He throws the slider. They're able to get to it, but the speed change or maybe just the break is what gets him out in front, and you'll see a lot of ground balls.
And that has to do with all the movement he has in his pitches. Not only does the slider move, but the fastball has good life to it as well.
2-2, strike 3 called. Hennis Alvarado has a couple Ks in his first 2 innings, both of them looking.
Again, it's that movement on that slider, especially if you're facing a lefty. It's very hard to read, and it's very hard to pick up out of the hand because it looks like it's hitting you in your front hip, and it has so much bite and so much curve to it that it just lands off that inside corner.
So now he'll be faced with a right-handed batter, Tyler Dupuis, who fouls it off. Tyler Dupuis, not the tallest guy in the world, stands at 5'7", but boy, has he ever hitting the baseball in the playoffs. Through 5 games, he has 8 hits in 20 at-bats, and 8 hits. He's also scored 7 times for the Jackfish.
You know what they say, height doesn't measure heart. There's a couple players in the majors right now that are proving that.
Yeah. 0-1. Slider for a strike. You could see the knees of Dupuis buckle. Not necessarily that he was fooled by that pitch, just that he was kind of acknowledging how much break it had on it.
And the really scary thing about that slider is it can break horizontally or it can break vertically. It all depends on how he releases it, and he executes that game plan really, really well.
2-0, fastball, and he blew it by him. Well, Hennis Alvarado, a 1-2-3 inning, tied 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Welland Jackfish. Jackfish leading the series 2-1. Maple Leafs trying to stay alive. That should be coming out at some time this week. Getting his thoughts as this one's hammered deep to right field, and it's way out of here. John Salazzo, the Orange Blossom Special, hits a 3-run homer, and it's 6-2.
That ball landed on the infield of the diamond behind the right field wall.
Wow, that's one of the longest home runs we've seen by anyone at Dominico Field. John Salazzo got every stitch of that baseball, and he hit it deep onto the Little League diamond. There's a game going off over there. That ball was a hazard. I see you hit home runs, and a lot of the time I think it's the furthest home run that I've ever seen hit. This one today really felt like it was. Where does that rank? How did that feel coming off the bat?
It honestly felt like nothing. Got barrel on it. He kept it hanging, splitter over the plate, and I just kind of sat there and admired it a little bit, and it just felt nice. It definitely felt nice, but probably, top 10 farthest home runs I've ever hit.
John Salazzo is going to lead things off to his song, his walk-up song, the Orange Blossom Special, which he got going mid-season, and very fitting with John Salazzo being a train conductor. It's got the nice train horn in it as John Salazzo steps to the plate. Salazzo holbering last game against the Welland Jackfish. Despite in a loss for his team, Salazzo happy to get on the board, and he was realizing that he was really struggling at the plate to start things out in the series. This here's the 1-0, and Salazzo takes a strike. It's 0-2 now. So John Salazzo is switching things up, not necessarily for his own personal performance because he had the home run last game, but he's going with the pink batting gloves today and just trying to switch it up. There's some other guys that are switching it up too. All three of the Mara brothers are going with, oh, there's Justin there too. I don't know if you can see, but they're going with the mustaches. There we go, yes.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, the guy with the mustache there, that's Adam Mara, and he's got a beauty. He's got the best of the three brothers. Actually, I'm not sure that Dan went with the mustache. I honestly didn't see today, but yeah, he's got the mustache going. A couple of the players have got it going, so they're switching things up, trying to change their fortunes. And I don't know, Adam. I think that should stay. That looks really good. That looks really good.
Mustaches are making a comeback.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Big fastball from Ben Abram. Jesse Hodges takes up and away. It's 1-1. 0-2 to Hodges. Jesse Hodges trying to get things going at the plate as well. Just 6 for 27 in the playoffs. And Abram lost his footing on the mound there and delivered that pitch way wide. He'll take a minute to fill in that hole that has likely been created from that plant foot from both of these pitchers. I can't imagine that Wilhennis Alvarado's stride is going in the same spot as the 6'8" Ben Abram. As there's the 1-2, and this one's a little flare out to center field. Coming in is Morello, and it falls. Jesse Hodges has himself a base hit.
And that's just a really good piece of hitting by Jesse Hodges. It looked like it was an off-speed pitch low and in the dirt, and Hodges just kind of sticks the bat out and dumps it into center field. Really good job hitting.
So he's on base for Connor Lewis. And the first pitch from Abram to Lewis. That one's rocketed down the line and in foul territory. Someone at third base just about got hit. I think, is that Merrick Deska over there at third base? Hard to tell.
I have glasses, but
Ishihara. Oh,
it's still
Ishihara.
very difficult. Is it?
Yeah, it is. Here's the 0-1. So I'm not sure if I had this correctly, but Yoshi Ishihara he's working on learning English, coming over from Japan. And you know what? He's doing pretty well, actually. I can tell that from the beginning of the season to now, his English has got a lot better. I mean, you can almost have a bit of a conversation with him. And he was talking to Grant Tamani before the game, and Grant Tamani is learning Japanese.
Feels like a very interesting conversation.
And yeah, and Yoshi Ishihara is learning English, so they've each got an app. And I think they're like comparing each other's scores on the app for learning each other's languages. It actually is Grant Tamani over there at third base.
I feel that's what was it called? Duolingo, I think is the app called.
I don't know.
I think that's the app where you can learn.
Yeah, I don't
languages.
think that's what it was. I'm not sure though, but I thought that was kind of cool. So here's the 2-2 to Connor Lewis. Swing and a miss, strike three. Ben Abram blew the fastball by him. Whew, we had that one at 95.
Yeah, he's been pounding the glove to say the least right now, and he's doing a good job. All right, now we need Dan Mara to turn around to see his mustache.
Runner goes. Jesse Hodges has his second stolen base of the playoffs. Well, that was a pretty good jump there by Jesse Hodges, and that wasn't a hit and run. He was straight stealing second base, and he got it.
That's what you love to see. Jesse Hodges gets that running game going, gets in a scoring position. We saw it in the first inning, and we see it here again.
Just a note as well, if you're new to the Toronto Maple Leafs broadcast, our radar gun is not 100% accurate, so we'll be off by a couple miles an hour here and there.
What's giving it away on this screen?
Yeah, as in we had one that just went to 131. So please don't take those numbers absolutely literally, but we've tested it out and we're usually within 2 or 3 miles an hour on the heaters. So, you know,
That's usually you. I'm roughly that 4 to 5 range.
Yeah. But it is close. It's not, you know, completely wrong. It is close.
We do our best up here at the top of the hill.
Line drive on a hop. Smybert knocks it down. Jesse Hodges is going to stay at third base. And although the play wasn't made there, James Smybert may have saved a run with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Big spot coming up here for Ryan Dos Santos. Here's the 0-1 to Dos Santos. And he hits one towards center field. Boy, he's got a lot on this one. Back at the wall, and it's off the wall. An RBI double for Ryan Dos Santos. The Maple Leafs take the lead, and they're looking for more, and they will get it. Dan Mara comes in to score, and it's 2-0 Toronto. What a big hit there from Dos Santos.
A huge hit. It gets the Leafs up by 2 early, and he turned on that fastball. We've been talking about it for the first 2 innings here, how Ben Abrams is just pumping that heavy fastball. Well, Dos Santos just sits back and drives it off the top of the wall in dead center field.
Boy, that was a few feet from leaving the yard. Either way, it cashes in 2 runs for the Maple Leafs, as that's a major AB there from Ryan Dos Santos with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Here's Vinicio looking for more. Swings at the first pitch, and it's to the backstop.
Another thing, it'd be good to get his bat going as well. You know, he hasn't had the hottest of starts in the playoffs, but that swing right there, hopefully that can turn things around.
0-1 to Vinicio. That one finds the zone. It's 0-2. Benicio just gets a piece of it. Still battling here behind in the count.
And this is what Benicio does so well. In any 2-strike count, he just fights and he battles. He never gives up. And he's always just giving it his all when he's at the plate.
Benicio crushes one on a line caught, but the Toronto Maple Leafs put together a couple of runs. Caleb Fiersteak making a nice running catch out there and right for the Welland Jackfish. The Maple Leafs 2, Welland 0 as we head to the third. Gio Morello is going to lead things off for the Welland Jackfish here in the top of the third inning. Ryan Dos Santos with a monster double off the center field wall. Missed a home run by a matter of feet, but drove in a couple clutch 2-out RBIs for the Maple Leafs.
And for the Maple Leafs to get this offense rolling early, that's a big step for them.
Chopper to short. Benicio can't field it. It took a wicked hop right when it hit the lip of the grass, and Morello is on base.
And even if Benicio fielded that cleanly, I'm not sure if he was going to be able to get the ball across the diamond in time for the speedy Morello, who was hustling out of the box.
Hogan Brown's going to lead things off. Gio Morello is a massive threat to steal over there at first base, but it is the lefty Alvarado. And he goes. He got a good pitch to run on too, but the throw down is right on time, and he got him. Oh, it was a breaking ball in the dirt, and Justin Mara still threw him out at second base, and the leadoff base runner is erased here for the Jackfish here in the top of the third.
And again, Justin Mara showing off the cannon behind home plate. We've seen him throw it from his knees. That time he got his legs under it too.
Yeah.
And that throw was on point.
It was a slow breaking ball, and it was almost in the dirt. Justin Mara is just so good defensively back there for the Maple Leafs. Even if his bat isn't there, which it has been in this, or at least later in this series, he is still so valuable defensively for Toronto. I feel like that's something that goes untalked about too much. counts 3-0 here on Hogan Brown, so the Jackfish have a good chance to put that base runner right back on first. Hogan Brown swinging 3-0, and he fouls it off towards the Bushman and left.
Yeah.
And one of them just made a fantastic catch with his cap, with that Toronto Maple Leafs ball cap he's got on.
Not only do they have fantastic cheers, but they can make some plays over there on the side of the hill.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Bushmen are out in numbers here tonight for this elimination game. It's a perfect night to do it. Have a beverage over there on the hill.
Have a bev and enjoy some baseball.
Nice warm evening. Oh, it's perfect. So it's Ethan Hunt. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Oh, 1. It's inside.
And so far, Alvarado has just done such a good job at mixing these two pitches. You always got to remember, it is just a 2-pitch arsenal, but he makes it work so well with how he can maneuver and manipulate that off-speed.
That's the off speed, and he missed outside. Hooked that one right around the plate. Ethan Hunt is up in the count, 2-1. If he can get on base, the skilled hitter in Carlos Martinez is on deck. Hunt hits one on the ground. Dan Mara fields it to his right, whips the throw to first. Well, it's not quite a 1-2-3 inning. He gets some help from Justin Mara, who erases the leadoff base runner, but Wilhelmus Alvarado gets the next 2 himself. It's the Maple Leafs 2, the Welland Jackfish nothing.
I never won in my pro career, so I never actually got to that actual championship. And to be able to do it with this group of guys and my brothers, it would actually mean a lot more to me than winning any MVP or any championship.
This IBL career so far. This one is crushed. Oh my goodness. Justin Mara got Saharath again.
Other than Hamilton?
Well, one thing we've seen consistently from the Toronto Maple Leafs is good starts. These 4 pitchers have combined for an excellent earned run average over the playoffs. This is through 8 games, and one of the turning points that might have been in this series was the start that Dan Procopio put together for the Toronto Maple Leafs last time he was out. That was on Sunday at Dominico Field, with the Maple Leafs leading the series at the time, 1-0. Dan Procopio gave up just 1 earned run over 7 innings, but the bullpen wasn't quite able to hold it down. The Welland Jackfish, after 7, had just 2 runs, but then a big 8th and a big 9th. 8 runs between those 2 innings. That blew the doors off the game. Maple Leafs came back and threatened in the 9th inning, but the score at the time was 10-3, and that's what it finished at. And the Welland Jackfish took that momentum and had a 15-run win the next day on Monday, they blew away the Maple Leafs once again.
And again, it comes down to the pitching staff really for the Leafs. You know, the starters, they've been going in, doing their job, and then it's just something with the bullpen.
Ground ball to Dupuis. Throws to first, an easy out number 1, retiring Justin Mara.
But like I was saying, it's just something about the bullpen that the Welland Jackfish just really like to see. They've scored a lot of runs late in ball games, and that's what's kind of led to some of these lopsided scores.
Maple Leafs have mustered just 3 runs in each of their last 2 games. A good sign to see them on the board with a couple here in the first 2 innings. Garrett Takamatsu on deck with tremendous power if Jordan Castaldo can reach base. Jordan Castaldo says he goes into every at-bat with the mindset of trying to win the battle. Each at-bat is a battle, whether you reach base via a hit, a homer, a double, or even a walk. That counts to him as winning the battle. And, well, that quote really rings true to Jordan Castaldo, and you can tell that he does a really good job of that because year in and year out, he's one of the league leaders in on-base percentage. And that's the thing that he values the most. Get on base, and then you have guys like Garrett Takamatsu and John Salazzo right behind you to try and bat you in.
And it comes down to really that just leadership mindset of just continue to pass the torch. Whatever I can do, pass it to the next guy, and so on and so forth. Get the runs on the board and, you know, get on base.
It's a very team-oriented attitude for Jordan Castaldo. He hits one in the air. This one's looping towards left, and he's on base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Took that fastball the other way and found a nice landing zone in the outfield. So Garrett Takamatsu with that big power will step to the plate.
Last time up, Takamatsu hit that ground ball to shortstop that took the wicked hop, and Smybert was able to glove it, just jumping in midair.
And he fouls the first pitch off. Garrett Takamatsu was one for 4, and then the Maple Leafs 15-3 loss against the Jackfish on Monday. Has just the 1 hit in his last 8 at-bats. Throw over to first. Abram will check on Jordan Castaldo at first base, who is by no means a speedster, but is a crafty player, and he'll take the 90 feet if he can get it. But with 1 out here in the 3rd and some of the Maple Leafs' best bats coming up, I'm not sure that he'd be willing to take that risk. Garrett Takamatsu behind in the count 0-2. If there has been something that's been an issue for him in the playoffs, it hasn't been the batting average or the hits, it's been the strikeouts for Jordan Castaldo. And he takes just inside 1 and 2. 10 strikeouts and his 27 ABs.
Yeah, Takamatsu, like you said, he's been very, very good all playoff long. It's just those strikeout numbers kind of creeping up on him.
One, 2. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Garrett Takamatsu had a long look at it, but he'll pass the baton over now to John Salazzo with a runner on first base and 2 outs. And this is a scenario here where John Salazzo might just be looking for a pitch he likes and putting a big swing on it.
I think he's going to draw a line down the middle of the plate. Anything on the inside, turn and burn.
Which Abram has been pounding these lefties inside. But John Salazzo, you know, he hit a couple home runs to opposite field this year, but I don't think it was really that he made particularly A-plus contact. It's just the fact that he is just such a strong guy. Takes a fastball in the outside corner for a strike.
And it just looks like the fastball here from Abram is just averaging around that 88 to about, 94-ish range.
Yeah, that would check out. His 2018 scouting report, max fastball was at 90. John Salazzo crushes one to center field. See you later. A 2-run mammoth home run to dead center, and the conductor has given the Leafs a 4-0 lead.
And you see it right there. He's getting the train going. That's what you want to see out of John Salazzo. The power to dead center field for a 2-run shot.
Might be time to pre-order another set of those pink batting gloves, because he's hit a home run out in his second try with them. Yeah, John Salazzo found a fastball. It was up. It was a little bit on the inner half. And oh boy, did he ever get a hold of it. Even a high five there from starting pitcher Welland Alvarado on his way by. Jesse Hodges, a sharp ground ball right to James Smybert. One pitch, one out, but the pitch that did the damage was the inside fastball that John Salazzo hit to dead center field, and man, the exit velocity was way up. So are the Maple Leafs. 4-0, they lead over the Jackfish. RBIs on the year, and he hits one up the middle into center field for a base hit. Picked up by Ryan Dos Santos. He's coming home with it. The play at the plate, and he is out! Oh, what a throw from Ryan Dos Santos to gun down Kieran Bowles, and we remain scoreless. Marek Deska and the Toronto Maple Leafs love it. What a throw on one hop to the catcher, Ryan Burnside. Here's Carlos Martinez leading things off, trying to get a couple back here for the Welland Jackfish after the John Salazzo homer. If you were to ask me before the game which two Toronto Maple Leafs hit absolute rockets that either left or nearly left the yard to dead center field, you would guess John Salazzo. The other guy you probably wouldn't guess is Ryan Dos Santos. Man, he got a hold of that one too.
And both, like, the biggest damage that has happened is off of high fastballs, and it looks like the Maple Leafs may have a game plan when it comes to Ben Abram. It's just kind of sit on that fastball.
Makes you wonder what their approach will be against Davey Mendez if he were to enter this game today. Obviously, the Welland Jackfish would probably have to make it close or take the lead, as Carlos Martinez fouls it off to the left. But Davey Mendez has probably a harder and a little bit more flat fastball than we're seeing from Ben Abram, but it's similar. He'll go up in the zone, it's straight.
You can see Alvarado wanted that outside call.
You think so?
Yeah, you know, just a little snap when he caught the ball kind of gave it away.
Yeah. Well, he'll have to battle here. 3-2. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Carlos Martinez pointing at where that pitch was. He's got to be careful here. He's an important bat in the lineup, and umpires don't tend to like when you tell them where the pitch was, especially when you demonstrate it.
Especially when you're also the catcher of the other team.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point, too. Although the Welland Jackfish have a very good second option on the bench as well with James, or not James Smybert, Cocker on the bench. Steven Moretto got out in front and fouled that first pitch off to the left. So Johannes Alvarado's ahead in the count. 0-1. Out in front of this one again, and he hits it on the ground to short. Vinicio whips it to first just in time. Ooh, that was calm, cool, and collected by Jose Vinicio as he just slung that one to first base.
And that's usually how it is with Vinicio.
Yeah.
You know, if he doesn't feel like he needs to rush it, just nice little toss over there first.
Yeah, and that's something that will come with the amount and type of experience that Jose Vinicio has had in his baseball career. He was darn close to making it to Major League Baseball with the Boston Red Sox during his time in the minor leagues.
Yeah, I heard they had a shortstop in the majors.
Xander
something.
Bogarts? Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
But I mean, if at the time the Boston Red Sox were, you know, closer to what the Oakland A's are looking like right now, I mean, there's no question that Jose Vinicio would maybe even be starting at shortstop in his time. Here's the 1-1 to Porcelato, and he hits it in the air. This one's to center field. Connor Lewis is going to back up about 7 steps. He makes the catch, and that'll do it. Well, that's exactly what you want from your starting pitcher after the 2-run home run by John Salazzo. Johannes Alvarado shuts down the Welland Jackfish as we head to the 4th inning. Does get himself into scoring position for Vinicio, and the pitch is hit in the air. This one's high and deep to center field, and it's gone! Jose Vinicio, a 2-run homer, and it's 6-1.
And we usually see him use his speed, this time using the power.
There's some pitching experience. This one's hammered deep to center field, and it's gone! Dead center for Jordan Castaldo. A 2-run homer, and it's 8-1, and the Maple Leafs are starting to tee off here on Skylar Janice. Started warming up a couple minutes ago, so he won't be ready yet. John Salazzo, high and deep, and it is way out of here. Takamatsu comes to the plate, and he crushes one. High and deep to center field, and it's gone! 3 in a row! Garrett Takamatsu, a line shot to center field.
The Maple Leafs are rolling. 3 home runs in a row, and they've all been deep shots.
We look into that bullpen as this one's hammered by J.J. Dutton. High and deep and gone. J.J. Dutton. Well, this is the Toronto Maple Leafs and Welland Jackfish, with the Maple Leafs trailing in the series 2-1. Connor Lewis, high chopper, and it's thrown away. Down the line at first base, Connor Lewis will pull into second. That'll be an error on the throw, so at least for Connor Lewis to end up at second base. But the Maple Leafs will not care how it's scored. What they will care about is that they have a runner in scoring position to start out the 4th inning, already up 4-0 on the Welland Jackfish.
And something that goes unnoticed about that play is how much Lewis was hustling down the line. You saw Ethan Hunt at third play it back on the big hop. He looked over, saw Lewis hustling it down, tried to rush his throw, and it led to that kind of overthrow of the first baseman.
Dan Mara singled in his first at bat. He's at the plate now, and he lines one. Caught by Tyler Dupuis. Oh, what a snare on a ball that was hooking away from him. Tyler Dupuis has saved a run 4 now for the Welland Jackfish.
Sometimes as a hitter, you just got to tip your cap. Fantastic play right there by Dupuis.
Ryan Dos Santos had a big RBI double in his last at-bat as he steps to the plate. Sat on a high fastball by Ben Abram. And he gets another one, and he crushes it. It's going to come up just short of the wall. Ryan Dos Santos just missed it and allows Connor Lewis to slide into third base. Boy, you know, that was a little deceiving. It was off the end of the bat, and it still got right to the wall out there in right field.
And that's still a good at-bat to have. You're able to advance the runner to third, so he's only 90 feet away. You have a guy like Jose Vinicio coming up to the dish to try to get him in. So still, another productive at-bat right there by Dos Santos.
It is, and Ryan Dos Santos, he's seeing the ball really well right now out of the hand of Ben Abram. I'm not sure if he's going to get another chance to see him, but that would be interesting. For some reason, this matchup really looks good for Ryan Dos Santos. Ball on the ground. Tyler Dupuis, he's a vacuum over there at second base. Scoops it up, throws to first. That'll do it. Abram works around a 2-base error to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. Helps out the Jackfish to shut down the Maple Leafs as we head to the 5th. Caleb Fierstick leading things off for the Welland Jackfish, the right fielder tonight. Maple Leafs 4, Welland 0 here in Game 4. Ground ball, Vinicio scoops it up to first, one away.
And so far on the mound, Hennis Alvarado has just been dominant. Very clean innings, working ahead of batters, and just doing a really good job of just getting that off-speed pitch over the zone.
And his pitch counts at 58. 1 out here into the 5th inning. That's a very good number. On the ground, Vinicio scoops it up. He's got to be quick to first, just in time. Well, that was a broken back ground ball. Jose Vinicio didn't want to charge in on it because he knows better than anyone how tough some of those hops can be. But he got it to first with that strong arm from shortstop.
Also looked like he had a little slip there with his footing when he was trying to throw it over to first.
This is pitch number 60 coming here to Tyler Dupuis. And it's a check swing, and he went through it. 0-1.
That's how you know the hitters, they do not have a plan right now with Alvarado. He's attacked these hitters in so many different areas, starting off at bats with that off-speed pitch, going with that inside fastball, outside fastball.
That one bounces in front of Johannes Alvarado. So you were telling me a stat in between innings there. If you count the Gio Morello being thrown out at second base, that's 12 straight batters retired now?
Yes,
for
12 straight batters retired, if you include that.
And there's a breaking ball. And again, Tyler Dupuis, we've seen him have that reaction a couple times, just not getting buckled, but buckling his knees just to kind of get a better look at that breaking ball from Alvarado. And I don't think he quite has it tracked yet.
And just to finish that comment, if you don't want to include the Gio Morello getting on base and then getting thrown out, it's been 7 straight batters.
On the ground towards first, and it's just foul. Boy, Tyler Dupuis, that swing is really Jose Altuve-like, isn't it?
Fighting off some tough pitches, staying alive. Speaking of Jose Altuve, he made history last night.
Yeah, I know, that's why I brought it up. Here's the 1-2, and that one's fouled off. Yeah, 3 home runs, and he did it in the first 4 innings of the ball game.
And I think it was 4 home runs in 4 straight at-bats or something like that. Really helped my fantasy team.
That's good.
That's for sure.
One and 2. Alvarado trying to get out of it in less than 70 pitches, but not this one. It's down the line. This could be extra bases here for Tyler Dupuis. He's heading for second. And the the ball was bobbled just a little bit out in right field there by Ryan Dos Santos. So Tyler Dupuis turned on the afterburners and cruises into second base.
And then just a good piece of hitting right there. Dupuis just kind of sitting on that stuff on the outer half of the plate, and he pokes it into right field.
Alvarado has given up 2 hits. Walked 1 and struck out 5 through 4 2/3. Check that 3 hits against Alvarado if you count that one right there. Ball gets away from Justin Amara, but not far enough to advance Dupuis at second base.
It's the first time he hasn't gone 3 up, 3 down since the first inning.
Gio Morello is 1 for 1. He's at the plate, and he's hitting .529 in the playoffs. The 1-1 is swung on and missed.
Yeah, he's been a very tough out for anybody that he faces.
Yeah, 1-1 now, sorry. Exactly the guy you want up at the plate with a runner in scoring position. And he's way out in front of the Alvarado breaking ball. Hogan Brown is on deck if it gets to him. Johannes Alvarado trying to put a pin in the inning right here. 4-0 Maple Leafs in the top of the 5th. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Alvarado. And it's fouled to the backstop, and Gio Morello just got a hair of that baseball.
And how Gio Morello approaches his at-bats, it kind of reminds me of the early season that Luis Araya's had up in the majors, where he's just kind of fouling off tough pitches, and he'll take the soft contact hits.
1-2. High bouncer. This is going to be a tough play for Dan Mara, and he will have no play. That's going to be an infield single for Gio Morello, who's 2 for 2. And Hogan Brown, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, comes to the plate.
And you see it there again, you know, the soft contact hits. Gio Morello, he has the speed to kind of get on base wherever that ball is hit, and he displayed it right there.
A meeting on the mound here with Wilhennis Alvarado, the first inning in a while where he's got into some trouble.
Last time he had 2 batters on base at the same time was back in the first inning. It was Carlos Martinez and Steve Moretto.
Yeah, that conversation on the mound there might have been what they do if Gio Morello decides to take off for second base. Pitch outside. Alvarado's attention is split between Morello at first and the batter Hogan Brown at home plate. The reason that could be a problem is that if the throw got away at all, or maybe even they try and score Tyler Dupuis if the Maple Leafs throw to second. Now, Justin Mara is a really good throwing catcher. Morello holds. Pitch outside corner for a strike. Even with the distraction at first base, Wilhennis Alvarado seems like he's got a pretty good handle on the strike zone right now.
He's doing a good job working these batters on the outside corner with the fastball, and that makes that off-speed pitch coming in on the lefties even harder to swing at because it looks like it's going to hit you.
So the count's 1-1. And he just missed outside.
See 3 pitches so far here to Brown, and all 3 have been on that outside corner.
That one looked like a breaking ball.
It wouldn't surprise me here if he comes in inside.
Would not be surprised to see Gio Morello running at first base as well. Here's the 2-1. He doesn't go. It's on the inside corner, and it's just inside. So it's 3-1 now on Hogan Brown, and now maybe Morello being at first base is just enough to get in the head of Wilhennis Alvarado in this at-bat. Here's the 3-1 to Hogan Brown. And it swung on and missed. Oh, that was a gutsy call to go to the breaking ball there on the 3-1 pitch. Hogan Brown clearly sitting on the fastball.
Yeah, and he has a lot of trust with that breaking ball especially. And that's what those early fastballs in the count do. When you have that breaking ball break that much on the outside, as a hitter, you think it's going to be a strike.
If he throws the breaking ball and locates it here, I think he's got him. But we'll see if he goes to it. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, but he didn't locate it, and the bases are loaded. Big moment here for the Welland Jackfish. They have the tying run coming to the plate in the form of Ethan Hunt, but they would take any kind of a hit right now, at least just to get the offense started.
And I don't think that was a very poorly placed off-speed pitch either by Alvarado. You got Hogan Brown to bite, thinking that it was going to hit him. You know, if it just broke a little bit more onto that inside corner, that's strike 3 looking, and the Maple Leafs are going to hit.
Alvarado throws pitch number 77, and it's a breaking ball and a good one over the outside corner. The last thing you want to do is fall behind in the count here to Ethan Hunt with the bases loaded. At one point, Alvarado was 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning with 64 pitches thrown through 5. Here's the 0-1, and it misses inside. It's 1-1.
Again, the pitch mix has looked really, really good. You like to see that inside breaking ball on right-handers hitters and then having that fastball low.
Hunt hits one on the ground. Vinicio fields it, flips to second, and the Maple Leafs get out of it. Wilhennis Alvarado loads the bases with 2 outs, and then gets out of trouble. He'll likely be back out for at least another inning of work, but the bats for the Maple Leafs coming up. They're trying to extend the lead. It's 4-0 Toronto. Perez delivers, and that one's lined into the outfield. Jose Vinicio does get on base. There goes Jose Vinicio. Throw down to second base is not in time. Vinicio is in there. He got a great jump at first base. Here's a ground ball. It's a chopper, and it gets through. Runner on second base. First pitch. This one's hit into the outfield. It's dropping, and it will fall. There goes the runner. Pitch is hit on the ground, and it finds a hole. Jose, you lead the league in stolen bases this season. When you get on base, how often are you trying to swipe second or third base?
¿Cuántas veces cuando estás en primera base estás pensando robar segunda?
Siempre, depende de la situación de juego, pero siempre estoy pensando llegar a segunda o tercera, ponerme más cómodo para el bateador que está en home plate para que me pueda traer la carrera.
So he says pretty much every time he's not only thinking about second, he's also thinking about third base. What he really wants to do is pick up his teammates, make him feel more comfortable, get him an RBI type situation.
Well, Dan Mara comes to the plate. Maple Leafs trying to stave off elimination here against the Welland Jackfish as he takes a first pitch strike from Ben Abram. Well, Hennis Alvarado, boy, he got himself into some trouble. Not that he looked bad. It was just an infield hit, a soft single, and a walk, all with 2 outs. And those are the kind of moments where you didn't really make any bad pitches, but sometimes things don't go your way. That's baseball. Well, Hennis Alvarado bared down, battled through it. He threw a couple extra pitches that he wouldn't have liked to, but he still came away, and that's a huge turning point in this ballgame.
And you got to remember who he's facing, right? It's the Welland Jackfish. This team has been very good all year long, and they kind of proved it in that inning. He made good pitches. It's just they were able to, hold off on some of those there was borderline breaking balls.
Ground ball, Tyler Dupuis, what a snare, and he throws to first in time. Well, this is what we saw from John Salazzo just a couple innings ago. Ben Abram on the mound, Salazzo giving the Toronto Maple Leafs a 4-0 lead with this swing right here. That's where we stand as of right now. John Salazzo with home runs in back-to-back games.
Safe to say the pink batting gloves are staying.
Jordan Castaldo is at the plate now. Ben Abram ahead in the count 0-1. Heck of a play there by Tyler Dupuis for out number 1.
Yeah, strong throw too. I would have loved to have the radar gun on that one.
Yeah, he had to throw a rocket over there to first base.
Well, I wouldn't say the weather's extremely humid.
It's pretty humid.
There's a nice wind.
Castaldo fouls it off, and he's battling. We saw this in his last at bat where he was behind at the count 1-2, and he worked it all the way back to 3-2. Castaldo is 7 for 22 in the playoffs with a bunch of walks. One, two. Check swing, he fouls it off. Castaldo he's putting up a fight here.
Do whatever you can to stay alive, and that's just Jordan Castaldo in a nutshell.
Jordan Castaldo, this is incredible. He has half the amount of walks as he has at-bats. 11 walks and 22 at-bats coming into this game in the playoffs.
Wow.
Line drive to center field, and he won the battle again. His second hit. Jordan Castaldo he's doing a lot to help out his team. And remember, if the Maple Leafs don't win this game, Jordan Castaldo doesn't have another game in the Inter-County Baseball League.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say he's not ready to retire just yet.
He's not ready yet. I asked Jordan Castaldo in an interview earlier in the season. I sat down with him and took some guts, but I mustered up the courage to ask him if he needed to win another championship to retire. He said no. But there was a bit of hesitation.
Well, we're holding on to that
So
hesitation.
maybe cross that bridge when we get there. I don't think anyone wants Jordan Castaldo to. I don't think a lot of people don't know what the Inter-County Baseball looks like without Jordan Castaldo. He's been in this league for a long time, and he's been a star in this league for a long time too. Here's a flare into the outfield, but that one's going to be caught by Caleb Fiersteak. Garrett Takamatsu is retired. Jordan Castaldo winning the Triple Crown in 2019. There's not a lot of players that have done that in the IBL. In fact, I think he was the last one to win the Triple Crown in the Inter-County Baseball League as well. John Salazzo took his crack at the Triple Crown this year. In fact, John Salazzo was 1 RBI short of a Toronto Maple Leafs franchise record. Actually, I think an IBL record set by Sean Riley. He had 48 of them this season, and the Toronto Maple Leafs didn't play their last game against the Brantford Red Sox.
Think that's in the back of the mind of any of the players?
No, it wasn't in the back of the mind of John Salazzo. You'd think that's something that was, but I really don't think he cares about it too much.
Yeah, once it flipped to the playoffs, I'm pretty sure you talked with him, and
Yeah.
he's like, and he was fully just, playoff baseball.
A home run in the third. And he hits one sharply up the middle for a base hit. Jesse Hodges comes to the plate. He also had a hit back in the 4th inning, or 3rd inning. 2nd inning.
You're getting closer and closer. I had to look down on my score sheet. But one thing I want to note on John Salazzo's at-bats tonight is that, we know him as such a pull-heavy hitter. Both of the hits he's had, almost dead center field.
Yeah, flared one into center, took an outside fastball. It was out in front of it, but made good contact. And now he takes a strike. Jesse Hodges hit his first career IBL home run right here at Dominico Field, crushed it over the left field wall in July. 0-1. Hodges takes outside.
Not to mention he also stole a base tonight, displaying the speed.
Yeah, he did that in the series against Guelph too. He takes a strike over the inside corner, so it's 1-2. Ben Abram has given up a couple of singles here in this bottom of the 5th inning. With the way that Welland Jackfish offense has been rolling over the last 2 games, they still have a decent shot at this game. Hodges hits one in the air. This one's deep to center field, and Morello makes the catch with his back against the wall. Abram escaping danger there against Jesse Hodges, who just missed it, and the speedy Gio Morello in center field is able to track it down. It's 4-0 Toronto Maple Leafs over the Welland Jackfish.
Welcome back to Maple Leafs baseball. Well, Hennis Alvarado steps back on the mound for his 6th inning of work. He starts off the first batter here with a strike and a breaking ball on the inside half. That's Carlos Martinez leading things off for the Welland Jackfish. Tries to get that corner once again, but it's going to be missing wide here. Evened up at 1-1 is the count. Alvarado doing a good job mixing in that off-speed pitch. Continuously having that vertical break against the righties and then that horizontal one against the left-handed batters.
Benicio scoops this one up. Goes to first, out number 1.
And again, Jose Vinicio he's had a busy day so far today. I believe that's his 5th or 6th. Hold on, I got to count here. 1, 2, 3. 7. He's had 7 ground balls hit to him.
John Salazzo has 0.
They're pulling the ball, just not pulling it enough.
Yeah. And some of them have been of the spectacular variety as well.
There was a diving catch, yes.
0-1. Check swing. No swing. Alvarado is at 85 pitches in the top of the 6th. His 1-1 is over the outside corner. It's 1-2. Alvarado is on 4 days rest as well for the Maple Leafs. He started game 1. which is not too bad, but definitely less than he's used to. Here's the 1-2. In the air, but it's foul down the right field line.
Almost a really nice barehanded catch on the hill. Fan went for it, and I think it hit his hands. Somebody bring that man an ice pack.
Yeah, there's a nice contingency of Welland Jackfish fans here down that right field line as well. 1-2. This one's crushed. Left field. Hodges at the wall, and it's gone. Steven Moretto has left the yard for in consecutive games here at Dominico Field. He did it in game 2, and he's brought the Jackfish within 3 here in game 3.
And he did it in similar fashion. He got a pitch on the inner half, and he just turned and burned. Really, that's the first mistake we've seen Alvarado throw all day.
And will this open the floodgates a little bit for the Welland Jackfish? This will be a test here for Alvarado. He faces Mateo Porcelato. And he takes way inside, ball 1. Johannes Alvarado wants a new baseball.
It's always the baseball.
Could be.
One of the seams sticking out a little bit too much. Or the one not having them popped out enough.
Not enough of that Major League Baseball mud everyone's talking about. Where does that mud come from?
It's the dirt rub.
Yeah, but it's like a river somewhere that they get all the
I actually didn't know that.
MLB baseball mud. We'll get our stats guy on it. 2-0. That's a strike. It's 2-1.
See, what I did in college was, a coach, if we had any brand new, we called them gems. If we had any brand new gems, we would just get some dirt and rub it. The Delaware River.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, thanks, Gus. 3-1 is the count now on Porcelato.
Gus Cousins wears a lot of hats on this broadcast.
Tonight, it's a Maple Leafs hat. 3-1, misses outside, ball 4. So Mateo Porcelato heads down to first base. He has a walk after the home run. That's going to cue Sam Green to come to the mound to have a word with Wilhennis Alvarado. So Wilhennis Alvarado came up through the Toronto Blue Jays farm system. Made it as far as AA baseball. And the interesting thing with Sam Green is that Sam Green actually would have seen Wilhennis Alvarado pitch before he even came to the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Alvarado's first year in the Intercounty Baseball League. Sam Green works with the Toronto Blue Jays. He watches a lot of the minor league pitchers to kind of scout out different arms. And Alvarado would have crossed his eyes a couple times when he was watching that minor league video. You would have had to think. Caleb Fiersteak hits a high chopper. Castaldo has it. He's just going to put the tag on Fiersteak, who tried an acrobatic move to get out of the way. That'll be the second out.
And that's what you like to see if you're a pitching coach like Sam Green. You go out there, talk to your pitcher, calm him down, and the first pitch after the meeting, it's an out.
Sam Green had a 2-inning save against the Welland Jackfish in Game 1 in Welland. That's the only win that the Maple Leafs have in this series so far. And man, he was terrific, coming in the 11th and the 12th inning and preserving the 1-run lead that the Maple Leafs were able to take in inning number 12. 1-0. Low.
And 2 pitches right there that could have gone either way. This time going in the way of Welland. He has good life that off speed.
James Smybert is at the plate, and he takes a strike. James Smybert is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, but batting .379 in the playoffs. He's also done a good job defensively at shortstop for the Jackfish tonight. He's ahead in the count, 2-1. And he hits one pretty well. This one's deep to right center field, and it is gone! Just clearing the fence out there in right center, and James Smybert has made it a one-run ball game.
And that's the thing about this Welland Jackfish offense. You can never really count them out, and James Smybert, he just proved that real.
Well, there were two Welland Jackfish who hit home runs against the Toronto Maple Leafs back in Game 2 at Dominico Field. And that has repeated itself here in Game 4. James Smybert also has his second home run in the playoffs here at Christie Pitts. Tyler Dupuis is at the plate. He takes outside. Actually, that was called a strike on the outside corner. Dupuis is 1 for 2. He's also been really good defensively for the Maple Leafs. This one's popped up. Ryan Dos Santos is under it, battling the wind just a little bit, but circles under it and makes the catch for the third out. But a big inning for the Welland Jackfish. They put up 3 against Wilhennis Alvarado, and they did it via the long ball. Well, you've been having these 3 great starts on the mound for the Maple Leafs, so it sparked me to have a lot of conversations about you to your teammates as well. And a lot of the time when we talk about you, they say, yeah, this guy kind of came out of nowhere last year and just kind of inserted himself in the Inter-County Baseball League. We know that's not the case. You didn't come out of nowhere. What's your background in baseball, and where did Sam Green come out of coming into the IBL?
I mean, I kind of did come out of nowhere. I grew up in the States, played travel and high school ball there, but my mom's side of the family's Quebecois. So I ended up going to school in Montreal. I went to McGill, good baseball program there, and that's kind of where I